Hey all, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Tiffany, and as you see, we are doing part number 3 to the Canada Day excursion we did to Fort Beauséjour here in Aulac, New Brunswick. So as you see, we're kind of still going through, looking at old paintings, and there's some lovely little books here. You're also going to see in a few moments some tools that were used, I'm assuming, for like things like surgeries and such. And then you'll also see, like you said, like little scissors and whatnot's up there. Looks like a little crest up there as well. Another book. And then as we go along, you're going to see different crests, sorry guys, and some old handwritten books and some like china. Like, look at those pretty teacups and the plates. I mean, just look at the craftsmanship that goes behind all of that. It's amazing. And then there's several photos of different people back in the days and what it might have looked like. Part of the museum back in the day. Again, look at those patterns. Isn't that just beautiful? And then over here you see an airplane. Kind of neat looking, isn't it? Just different like pins and such here, and some medals. Like even the medals are pretty interesting to look at. And then you go over here and you see all the different kind of handguns, musket guns, the gunpowder holder. I mean, just some of these things are really intricate and beautiful, and who would have known that was a musket, like a thing. And then you got the cannonball holders, or cannonballs, and then those are tools to make bullets. So that's how you would make the musket bullets. And you did see a few little muskets in that one shot, but all of these different handguns, like there you go, some of the different musket balls. But all those different handguns, man, was amazing that they could make them, you know. You can pause here and read what the plaque says. Like I said, I just kind of checked out some of the paintings of the old gentlemen on the walls. And as you can see, there's some snowshoes above this case. And coming down, you're going to see lots of trophies and silver, and just, it's amazing the craftsmanship that went into some of these things. You don't see this kind of silver being used anymore. That's not an arm and a leg to buy. Down here we had a couple of old railway ties that I'm sure my son Alex would have loved because he loves trains. There's an old sewing machine for anybody who was into old sewing. My mother-in-law loved that part. It's a pretty old sewing machine. And as you see, more pictures of the trains and all that sort of stuff, like names from the railways and more sketches. I think this wall is the women of Fort Bow, or of the area. I honestly can't remember offhand, but there was a lot of pictures of women on this wall, so. And as you can see, this is a very beautiful grandfather clock. I couldn't believe the craftsmanship that went into this. Simplistic yet crafty at the same time. I love this piece. I just had to grab it to show everybody. Down here you see more brass instruments and some more stamps and stuff that were used for the railway, so that was kind of awesome. Then I had to move quickly because I didn't want to get the family on camera. But again, more beautiful plates and hand painted, all beautiful, more lace and just the details that went into everything back then. It was amazing for the time frame. You know, they don't make anything like they used to. I mean, to see this stuff these days, it wouldn't last more than maybe like a day or two, and then it starts chipping away and fading. But look at all this stuff 100 years later and it's still beautiful. Now, I don't know if anybody else might know this, but this instrument you're seeing right there is what used to be a bed warmer. They would put hot coals in that and then stick it underneath their bed covers to keep them warm during the winter nights. There's the cannon again. Over here you get to see some broken pottery and some different stuff that's been excavated and found along the shoreline of the Bay of Fundy and everything, which is what you can see from the hillside. There's more tools. Again, found at an archaeological dig. Different iron heads. Looks like some clamps and just some pieces of different artifacts that were used back in the day. Knives, stuff like that. Then here you go again. We've got beautiful guns. They have a lot of these, which, well, being that it was a fort for a reason, they had a lot of guns being used, but to see these things up close is amazing. So now I wonder what's around this corner. Can you guess? Oh, look! More guns! Like I said, it's a fort. There was battles fought here. Guns were a staple during these times. But man, are they ever interesting. Look at the swords and the details and the musket balls and the tools. Just a lot of history. And of course, this like a safari hat. Like who doesn't need a random safari hat? This is the same display as before, just the other side of it where you can see some of the pottery and stuff like that and some belt buckles that we're able to find. Here you have some more tools, I think. Yes, more tools, hand tools, knives, irons, some wooden handles from like axes. And now I'm leaving the area because I've now showed you everything in that area, but this was on the way out. It's in French, so I cannot read it to you, but it's a map of the maritime provinces. Here we have, again, more maps of the area depicting different things, currents and all that sort of stuff, and different people from history. I thought that map was kind of cool with all the colors and everything, just kind of showing it off. You'll have to excuse me here. You hung over and we're looking at the stairs going into the basement of the fort and everything, kind of looking at nothing. I was talking to a couple that were filming the display that I was just about to show you. As you can see here, they were getting an aerial shot. So I was trying to let them finish up their shot before I got mine. Up there you can see a bunch of different crests over the door frame going into the museum. And then these are just some of the different uniforms that the soldiers depicted on these little models would have used back or wore back in the day, as well as, again, look, more guns! And I'm assuming, I think it's a letter opener. But either way, it's a fort. There's gonna be guns. And there's lots of them there. Lots of history. And another quick glance at some more artifacts as we leave. Some coins, some pieces of pottery, some brass and stuff. I believe I caught this going on the way in. You see a fork and a knife. But as I'm going back out of towards the end, that's where I went. The first video came from. And now you see all the wildlife in the area on this wall. I am taking the time to sign they have a visitor's book here, so I was signing the visitor's book while you guys are looking at the moose. And now they've got this like beautiful painting hanging over top of that area. So we signed the guest book, which we do every year. So, I mean, actually I think now I'm signing it right now because hanging on that picture a little too long. But we had a great time, and we hope you all enjoyed this, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.